Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And welcome to Xilitla. This little town is actually nestled in the mountains, about a 2-hour drive from Ciudad Valles, where we were a few days ago. And although this town is a lot smaller than Ciudad Valles, I think our first impressions were quite good. It's got a lot more character.
And there's one major attraction here that brings tourists from all over the world and is the main reason for our visit as well. Hidden somewhere in the jungles above us is a surreal place called the Edward James Sculpture Garden, or Las Pozas, which translates to the pools. Ever since we've seen pictures of this place, we just knew we had to come and check it out, and we can't wait to go and get exploring it. So we're just making our way down to Las Pozas now. It's about a 30-minute walk downhill from the centre of Xilitla, so not too bad. When we were booking it last night, we realised that they're only letting a limited amount of visitors in per day at the moment. It wasn't such an issue for us to book because we're going on a Thursday, but if you are coming at a weekend, it's probably best to get those tickets in advance on the website. We're also pretty sure that at the moment, to get into the gardens, it's mandatory to go with a tour. We were looking forward to the freedom of kind of walking around and seeing the place in our own time, but you know, if we have to go in with a tour, we have to do that, and they did have the option to do an English tour, which was, you know, a nice thing to have.
As soon as we entered the garden and began to explore, the scale and peculiarity of the place immediately hit us. It's like walking into the ruins of a long-lost civilization that are slowly being overtaken by the jungle, except they must have had the oddest ideas about constructing buildings imaginable.
In reality, this garden is the vision of English surrealist Edward James, who began construction of Las Pozas in 1962 after initially buying a coffee plantation nearby. It was designed to be sort of a Shangri-La between the organic and the artificial, between the jungle and the concrete, whilst maintaining the surrealist nature Edward James loved. There are doors that lead to nowhere, buildings that make no sense, and stairs that lead to heaven. It really is a peculiar place.
When Edward James died in 1984, construction stopped, and it wasn't until 1991 that doors were open to the public, which probably accounts for the slightly overgrown feel.
So we've just left the garden, and not really sure what just happened there. On the video, it probably looks like we had a really nice time, like we were taking it easy, taking it slow, but this is more what it looked like.
Okay guys, this way. This way, we're gonna see another thing. What's your step, guys?
In reality, this tour was very fast-paced. It was really hard to focus on what the guide was saying because he was saying really informative things. We're trying to enjoy the garden and actually look at the structures and maybe trying to take photos, and there's just not enough time for that with a tour like this.
The whole tour lasted about an hour and a half for us with the filming and the picture taking and everything. We just needed way more time.
Like to actually take it all in, like to feel like we're really here and appreciate the place a bit more, and we just didn't have time for that at all.
Yeah, we were like so far behind the guide all the time that we really honestly didn't feel like we had a guided tour at all, because he was just like go, 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 and we were just hanging back to take pictures, so we never really heard anything that he had to say anyway. Now we're heading back up the hill to Xilitla. We're going to go grab some lunch, and then we're going to be heading to another surrealist art installation here in Xilitla, which is called the Leonora Carrington Museum. She She was another English surrealist who settled here in Mexico. So strange to be in the middle of the Mexican jungle but be surrounded by the works of like eccentric English artists. So we went to the Leonora Carrington Museum, but unfortunately it seems to be closed for a reason that we're not quite sure of.
Check the website and apparently they're selling tickets for today as well, so we're not entirely sure, but through the windows we couldn't see any staff or anything, any note or anything at all.
It's either a COVID related thing or it's just closed during this time of the year, we don't know. So yeah, we're going to come back, probably try again in the morning, see if we have any more luck, and the rest of the day we're just going to be wandering around Xilitla a little bit and enjoying the beautiful scenery. So it's the next morning, we are still in Xilitla. We've come down to the main square and grabbed ourselves some coffee, which we've been sorely missing.
Yeah, it's only 15 pesos, so it's great.
We're going to have our coffee and then we're going to wander back over to the Leonora Carrington Museum and keep our fingers crossed that it is actually open today. So we're not really sure what's going on right now. We're sat outside the museum. It's about 10 o'clock, so it should be opening. A lady's come and is like knocking on the door. You know, we think maybe she works there or something. Another local has come and is now telling us something. It doesn't seem like the place is open, but I don't know why or what's going on.
No, we have no idea.
So we're going to give it a little bit longer, but then I think we're just going to give up. So the lady walked off with the guy and he seemed to be giving her directions. We ended up following her for a little bit.
Not in a creepy way, just more like in a curious way.
Felt like I was tailing someone like in a spy movie. In the end she just kind of wandered off and didn't really go anywhere or do anything, so we've kind of given up on the whole seeing this museum thing.
We're not sure what we did wrong. So after the disappointment of not being able to see the museum, we headed back to the main square, treated ourselves to an ice cream and relaxed for the rest of the day. Xilitla is definitely an interesting place, as on the one hand it feels like a very small traditional Mexican mountain town, even being designated as a Pueblo Magico, which means it embodies traditional Mexican values and characteristics.
But on the other hand, you have these crazy surrealist installations dotted around town, made by wealthy and eccentric English expats. It's really a strange combination, but one that's definitely boosted tourism in the area and put the town on the map, which in the end helps out the local people and the economy.
So our adventure here in the Huasteca is coming to an end, which we're a little bit sad about because...
Yes, we really love this place. So happy we managed to visit as many waterfalls and places as we possibly could from our initial list.
It's honestly like a little bit of paradise on earth, and it's really, really empty. I don't know if it's just the time of year we're here, but there's really not that many foreign tourists at all here, and we had a lot of places to ourselves the whole time. Everybody seems to go to places like Cancun and Yucatan and places like that, but this is really, you know, equally as beautiful and very, very quiet.
Even more beautiful, just purely for the fact that it's not as visited.
Now we are going to go head back to our hotel because we have got to prepare for a very long journey.
Yes, this is our first overnight bus in years. We'll spend the next 2 weeks in Mexico City, and we have loads of cool plans and day trips from the city.
Yeah, so stay tuned for all of that, and if you enjoyed this video and the rest of our Huasteca series, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and we will see you on our next adventure in Mexico City.
Bye.
Bye.